Ahsoka, episode 6. We've finally seen it. The return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Did it live up to the hype? Or was it a little bit of a letdown? Let's talk about it. All right, guys. Brent here with the man, the myth, the Marvel. Will, as we discuss all things Marvel, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, DC, anime, and more. This time we're covering Ahsoka. Will, since you're new to the Star Wars universe, take it away. Your thoughts, your feelings, your comments.
I think that this was pretty good as far as build up. Like, granted, we finally got the build up to see Thrawn, and it was fantastic. Like, he came out just cold and calculating, like freaking I expected him to be from everything that you told me about him. So that like I'm very hyped for this. Sabine's on some other stuff right now. I'm not happy with, and there's more witches to deal with. So I still think that the buildup is going. Like this is just like a small plateau before stuff really goes off the chain. So I'm hyped right now. I'm feeling good about it.
This is what Star Wars was meant to be. It was supposed to be a world shrouded in myth and mystery and magic and deep lore, Jedi battles, and the whole kit and caboodle. And Disney Star Wars has taken a hard right on a lot of stuff. Filoni has definitely stayed true center. He's never lost what Star Wars was, and the fan ratings, the IGN ratings, the critic ratings, all say the exact same thing. This show is exactly what Star Wars was supposed to be, and thus having Grand Admiral Thrawn return in this capacity for this show in general is absolutely fantastic. I can't say enough good things about what we have seen in this universe and the galaxy far, far away. We finally saw the homeworld of the Dathomirian witches, and well, one witch is bad. Morgan Elsbeth is very strong, but now we got three more witches, which equals a whole more trifecta from hell. So now we have four witches, so a quad, if you will. And now we're just got Grand Admiral Thrawn's brilliant mind, two mercenaries who are very strong, because now we learned that not only was Skull kind of strong, he was a general during the Clone Wars, which, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda, uh, Annie Plo Koon, Mace Windu, all of them were generals. So, just to put things in perspective, he was not only strong, but he was quite strong. And he walked away from the Order now in what seems like the exact same way that Count Dooku left. He left because he felt alienated. He felt like the Jedi Order was failing, because it was. And he wanted more for himself. He wanted more for the galaxy. He wanted to use the Force for something greater than what it was being used for. And the Jedi Order was a long, long, drawn out death. They had been abducting children, living the world in peace and serenity and wisdom and knowledge, and they were all blind to everything that was truly going on. And now we have everything else that has been existing the entire time the Jedi Order has been, that they had some folktale of, that turns out to be 1000% real, directly under their noses at some point in time, that I'm sure our boy Papa Palps was very, very familiar with. Because just so everyone is aware, the Death Star was not created to destroy the rebels. The Death Star was created to repel incoming galaxies from invading his own. That is what the true lore of the Death Star was. The rebels saw it for the short-sighted thing that they thought it was going to become, but in the grand scheme of things, it was more of like a nuke, if you will, preventative measure. So now that we're starting to catch a glimpse of what this galaxy can be, people should be worried. And Ahsoka's in for a bit of a wild ride. And honestly, I have to agree with you. Everything involving Sabine has been irking me for some time now. She's on her own personal time, on her own personal quest, running her personal errands, when the entire fate of the galaxy is on the line for you and your long lost brother slash stepbrother because I can't get a read on how you feel about this man. No one really has. I know you said sibling, but it's like the way you kind of held him that long kind of was a little sketch. You kind of gave him the up down. Like, I don't want to be that guy reading into this and trying to put something that doesn't exist into place. But from your fresh eyes, Will, does it look like she was on one and she was thinking of things that maybe, just maybe, weren't on mission?
I mean, honestly, if I hadn't heard like she referred to him as like sibling or something at some point. So if she hadn't said that, or if I just missed that, I full on think the way she's acting that she's going after her love interest. She's looking for her boyfriend. Like she's trying to find him and get him back because that's her long lost love. That's what it feels like to me. She is going after him. She needs to have him back, and the amount of desperation that she has for going, like she's betraying everybody, it seems like, just to get what she wants and stuff. And granted, there could be some ulterior motive in there. She could have a tracker freaking somewhere that's sending out a signal that can be brought up later. I don't know, like whatever they want to kind of throw at it. But for now, Sabine's kind of getting on my nerves. Ahsoka's got a whole lot more to deal with now because going to show whenever she does show up. She's going to show up. They're already getting ready to go with her extreme prejudice, and now Ahsoka's got to not only deal with all these other witches, but now she got to deal with Sabine, and whether Sabine is on the level able to do what she needs to do to get help them get out of this mess, or is Sabine gonna trying to take Ezra and run off because she act like she was the only one that cared about Ezra. Ahsoka was very concerned about Ezra. She wanted to make sure that he was safe, and if she could find him, she was going to find him. But they couldn't do that together. She had to skew off on her own to go do it, and now it's causing problems. So I don't know. She's just irking me beyond no measure. Like she need to go right now. I don't want her here.
Yeah, Sabine has definitely followed the whole Anakin plan of me above everyone. It's just so happened that Anakin could execute all of his plans where me above everyone worked out, and everyone usually survived. If not, he'd just kill them, and then the plan would succeed because Anakin, chosen one. Sabine, on the other hand, weak with the Force, super emotional, and failed at being a Mandalorian. Now you're failing at being a Jedi, and you failed at being a good friend to just about everyone in the Alliance at this point in time. Chopper would disapprove of what you've done. I know the ghost of Kanan would be disapproving of what you're doing for sure. Ahsoka is disappointed, but she's doing it in an Obi-Wan kind of way where it's a grimace, a scowl, and just kind of, yeah, I'll bail you out. I don't know what I expected otherwise kind of thing. And now we have the mercenaries joining up with the other mercenaries to kill the slug turtle people. And we have Ezra about to be under attack. We don't know if he's been training. We don't know if he's kept up with his time with the Force, or he's just out here straight winging it, old school style in the woods, like full on, almost hobo esque. We don't really know what's been going on, but all we do know is Thrawn has not wasted a second of his time away from the galaxy. He created an entire regime, an entire platoon, an entire army. This dude built up everything he lost, no time flat, then added Dathomirian witches in his repertoire just for good measure. If he loses this battle, which honestly he made just only for the sake of the plot, because now you'd have to incorporate him within the extended universe and somehow kill him off before we get to the First Order. But now there's just so many complications to what could happen with everyone. I'm fully invested. I could rant about this all day, but I love what they've done so far. I don't have anything other than Sabine to complain about. Do you have any other comments you'd like to add to this?
No, I mean everything else is flushing out pretty well. I'm curious as to the guy in the gold mask. Like he's like a special trooper or something like that. Enoch or something. Like I didn't see his thing. That was his name. So I don't know. He just looked like he was about to cause problems. Like if Thrawn pointed and said sick him, like he was gonna go and just jack some stuff up. So but no, I got no other qualms about it. Like, again, I'm hyped. Like the buildup is there. Like it's fun for someone who's just coming into this stuff. Like I'm really enjoying how they're playing everything out. And Thrawn really feels like a big bad. he feels like someone worth going after, unlike Kang. But it's something. Like it's something. So I'm with it.
This is what Star Wars is supposed to be. I hope it doesn't let us down the way Star Wars has in the past and choke away, a beautiful lead that they've built up and amazing writing that has happened. But in Filoni, we trust. And until otherwise, you can trust in us. Hit that lovely red subscribe button. You clearly listened to us rant and rave for 10 minutes. So there's something you like. But before I end up talking your ear off for another good hour about this, I'll see you in the next one.